In 1952, a large-scale naval operation allegedly attracted the attention of several UFOs and unidentified submerged objects. Multiple credible military witnesses claimed to have seen them, and rumors say General Dwight Eisenhower was also present. All these events reported during Operation MAINBRACE that happened in September 1952, involving 200 ships, 1,000 planes and 80,000 soldiers, seem to strengthen the belief that we are being watched. What do these apparitions really mean? Should they be interpreted as attempts to communicate or intimidate? Are they watching us?
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up guys, DOZgeek here with Section 51. Big thanks again for your support to the channel and welcome to the new subscribers. Before starting, don't forget to like and share this new video if you want to keep supporting Section 51 and to help us to develop the channel. And please watch this video until the end. That will also help to increase the watch time of the channel and boost its visibility. We must absolutely use these simple tools that are available to help the channel being visible on YouTube. If you are ready, let's start right now. In late September 1952, only months after a rush of flying saucer sightings over Washington DC made headlines around the world, dozens of military officers participating in NATO exercises in the North Atlantic were struck by their own UFO fever. Called Operation MAINBRACE, during September 14th to 25th of 1952, this naval exercise organized by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, involved armed forces from the United States, the UK, Canada, France, Denmark, Belgium and the Netherlands. It was the largest peacetime military exercise since World War II. The wargame-style maneuvers simulated NATO's response to a mock attack on Europe, presumably by the Soviet Union. The MAINBRACE operation involved 200 ships, 1,000 planes and 80,000 soldiers from multiple NATO countries, including large deployments from the United States and the United Kingdom. This massive operation caught the eye of everyone in the vicinity, and apparently, not all of them were human. The first two incidents occurred during the first day of demonstrations. The first MAINBRACE encounter came on September the 13th, when the captain and crew of a Danish destroyer spotted a triangular-shaped object moving through the night sky at alarming speeds. The unidentified craft emitted a blue glow and was estimated by Lieutenant Commander Schmidt Jensen to be traveling upward of 900 miles per hour. On September the 19th, 1952, Royal Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Topcliffe in England also spotted a UFO as one of their planes was coming in for landing. Multiple radar operators saw the silver circular object perform impossible maneuvers and accelerate incredibly fast. Lieutenant John Kilburn spoke publicly about this strange experience.
Suddenly it accelerated at an incredible speed towards the west, turning onto a southeasterly heading before disappearing. All this occurred in a matter of 15 to 20 seconds. The movements of the object were not identifiable with anything I have seen in the air, and the rate of acceleration was unbelievable.
On September the 20th, an American newspaper reporter named Wallace Litwin was aboard the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt, an aircraft carrier participating in the MAINBRACE exercises, when he saw a commotion on deck. Several pilots and flight crew members pointing at a silver sphere in the sky that appeared to be following the fleet. Litwin quickly shot 4 color photos of the round object as it made some impressive maneuvers, and which he assumed was a weather balloon. The color photographs were examined by Navy intelligence officers, but the results have never been made available to the public. Besides, during his investigations, Captain Edwin J. Ruppelt, the director of Project Blue Book, the code name for the systematic study of unidentified flying objects by the US Air Force from 1952 to its termination in 1969, was shown the photos, stating that they turned out to be excellent. Judging by the size of the object in each successive photo, one could see that it was moving rapidly. Moreover, the same day, 3 Danish Air Force officers noticed a disc-shaped object pass them overhead and disappear over the horizon. On September the 21st, 6 British pilots flying in formation over the North Sea spotted a shiny spherical object rising from the water and approaching their location. The pilots engaged in pursuit, but the UFO quickly disappeared from their sight. On their way back to base, one of the pilots noticed the object was once again following them. He turned around to chase it, but once again it sped away. Around the same time, panic ensued at RAF Sandwich, a ground-controlled interception site in Kent, England, where all radar operators were staring at their screens in disbelief. Their instruments had detected a huge unidentified craft the size of a warship hovering at a high altitude over the English Channel. By the time Operation MAINBRACE was over, dozens of military personnel and civilians had witnessed these extraordinary events. The witnesses' qualifications and the radar confirmation excluded swamp gas, weather balloons, and the planet Venus. An extensive investigation took place afterwards, but the results are still being kept secret. Rumors say General Dwight Eisenhower was aboard the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt during the operation, which would mean he was exposed to the UFO phenomenon before he became president and allegedly struck a deal with aliens. Moreover, while conducting research in the UK National Archives in 2001 for a book called Out of the Shadows, UFOs, the Establishment and the Official Cover-Up, British journalist and UFO investigator David Clarke made an incredible discovery. Despite officials' repeated denials that they existed, he uncovered documents that referenced top-secret UK government UFO investigations. The 6-page report from the Ministry of Defense's Directorate of Scientific Intelligence, the equivalent of the CIA in America, dated June 1951, was produced by a top-secret panel of military intelligence experts known as the Flying Saucer Working Party. According to the report, the 5-member team had been meeting since 1950 to analyze reports of unexplained sightings from RAF and Royal Navy pilots. The Flying Saucer Working Party, much like the Air Force higher-ups overseeing the Project Blue Book investigations in America, dismissed all sightings by experienced military personnel as either mistaken identification of conventional aircraft, optical illusions and psychological delusions, known astronomical or meteorological phenomena, or deliberate hoaxes. The clandestine team concluded that the only way to get substantiated data on UFOs would be to establish a global network of radar stations and photographers continuously monitoring the sky for aberrations. They accordingly recommended very strongly that no further investigation of reported mysterious aerial phenomena was undertaken, unless and until some material evidence became available. This conclusion was shared with Winston Churchill when he fired off a memo in the summer of 1952. Churchill was shown the top-secret report, and the topic of UFO investigations was briefly laid to rest. That is, until exercise MAINBRACE. In the wake of the Topcliffe sighting and resulting newspaper coverage, the British military intelligence was forced to officially recognize the UFO, according to Ruppelt of Project Blue Book. In 1953, the British Air Ministry established a UFO desk within the Deputy Directorate of Intelligence, known cryptically as AI3. From then on, all unexplained sightings by British military personnel would be controlled internally, classified as restricted and not shared with the press. Most UFO researchers agree on the cause of these multiple sightings. It would appear that the large gathering of forces attracted the attention of the UFOs, which serves to strengthen the belief that we are being watched. Any available documentation on this subject has circulated between the US Navy and Air Force Intelligence, the RAF, and NATO. Little information was released, and to this day, the sightings remain unexplained. On the light of all these testimonies and the investigations carried out, therefore, it appears that a large-scale extraterrestrial activity occurred in the North Atlantic during the Operation MAINBRACE. These incredible events seem strangely to echo the recent UFO reports revealed by the US Navy in 2020 and describing, for example, the multiple UFO encounters with the USS Omaha and the USS Kidd in July 2019. 60 years later, these mysterious apparitions continue to occur in the vicinity of military ships, and apparently, our armed forces still seem helpless and puzzled. What do these apparitions really mean? Should they be interpreted as attempts to communicate or intimidate? Are they watching us? Do they have the intention or the mission to prevent disasters? Are they capable of harming us? Do they intend to? Unless they decide one day to reveal to us publicly their true intentions, or unless they are forced to do so, I'm afraid we will have to wait a long time before we have any answers. Will we be patient? Will we ever deserve the truth? What do you think? I hope you enjoyed this video. This was DOZgeek. Section 51 is on social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to like this video, to share it, to subscribe to the channel, and to support Section 51. Thank you. I'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.